Edward Snowden, permanent record. Step into the world of Edward Snowden, a figure who at one point or another has been labeled a hero, traitor, and everything in between. In Permanent Record, Snowden walks you through his journey from an introverted, tech-loving teenager to the infamous whistleblower who exposed the United States government's mass surveillance programs. Explore Snowden's rise through the ranks of the intelligence community, his love for technology, and his realization of the dangerous capabilities of the surveillance systems he helped create. This book's summary delves into the ethical dilemma he faced and the decision he made to release classified documents to journalists, ultimately sacrificing his life as he knew it.
Edward Snowden and the birth of the Internet. In the 90s, the Internet was a wild west of amateur websites and forums, a place where people could explore different online identities and share obscure knowledge. It was in this environment that Edward Snowden found his passion for technology and hacking, connecting with people around the world who shared his interests. These interactions helped form his worldview and set the stage for his later role in exposing government surveillance. Hacking beyond computers. Edward Snowden's life story as a hacker will redefine the way you see rules and systems. Edward Snowden, famously known for exposing the NSA's controversial surveillance program, was a hacker long before his whistleblowing days. Contrary to popular belief, hacking doesn't necessarily require technical computer knowledge. It involves mastering any given system's rules and identifying how to use its weaknesses to your advantage. Snowden got his first taste of hacking at the age of 6 by manipulating his bedtime routine. He wound the clocks backward and convinced his parents that it wasn't his bedtime yet. Snowden continued to hack the rules imposed upon him in high school, where he calculated that he could still pass the class without ever doing his homework. Unfortunately, his plans were derailed by mononucleosis, leaving him unable to attend school for months and leading to the need to repeat the grade. Using his hacking skills, Snowden managed to apply to a community college and receive a diploma equivalent to a high school degree. It was at community college where Snowden's technical knowledge caught the eye of a fellow classmate, May. The two started a web design business that grew into a tech-savvy freelancing business and became a profitable venture. Snowden's story illustrates how hacking can be applied to all kinds of systems beyond computers, showing that the key to successful hacking is creativity, strategic thinking, and using the information available effectively. Snowden, from military to intelligence. When Edward Snowden witnessed the chaos following the 9/11 terrorist attack, he felt a sense of patriotism that pushed him to serve his country. After an ankle injury ended his military career, Snowden applied for clearance to work in a tech position for the CIA or NSA. He eventually landed a security guard job at the NSA facility, but his true potential was quickly recognized, and he was promoted to high-level positions thanks to his prodigious computer skills. The expanding security efforts after September 11 allowed the intelligence agencies to look for promising talents and waive degree requirements for exceptional candidates like Snowden. Snowden's road to becoming a whistleblower. From the CIA to the NSA in Geneva, Edward Snowden transitioned from a systems administrator to a technical information security officer. In the process, he challenged authority, questioned the chain of command, and became one of the most infamous whistleblowers of the 21st century. Edward Snowden, who started as a security guard, sought a better way to serve the government with his talents. He decided to attend government job fairs, where companies such as Dell, Intel, and Lockheed Martin recruited talent for government jobs. Snowden landed his first contracting job as a systems administrator at CIA headquarters, managing the agency's private servers. After working in a dark basement for a few months, Snowden wanted to work abroad and became an official government employee by enrolling in a 6-month CIA program. During his training, Snowden requested to work at an embassy in the Middle East, where he thought he could gain a new and challenging experience. However, he challenged the authority of the CIA and made the mistake of writing lengthy emails to the director and his superior, complaining and demanding action. This worked, and the class was moved to a new training facility, but Snowden was punished for disobeying the chain of command and was sent to work for the NSA in Geneva. Although it wasn't what he hoped for, this job became a turning point in his career. Snowden found himself in the middle of the US government's transition to technology-based intelligence. It was here that he began to question and challenge the morality of the intelligence-gathering practices which he felt violated his principles. Snowden's path from a systems administrator to a technical information security officer to a whistleblower is a remarkable journey. His story highlights the importance of challenging authority and questioning the chain of command when principles and integrity are at risk. Snowden's revelation. After attending a conference in Hong Kong, Snowden began to question why the US wouldn't spy on its citizens as China did. He stumbled upon a secret mass surveillance program that was collecting metadata from everyone's phone and online-related activities. Burdened by this information and other factors like ill health, Snowden decided to take a break from his intelligence work. From paradise to exposure. Edward Snowden's journey from a relaxed life in Hawaii to becoming a whistleblower who exposed government surveillance programs. After a period of recovery in Hawaii, Edward Snowden took a job at the National Security Agency, NSA, hoping for a relaxed and peaceful life with his girlfriend. Although the position was a downgrade both financially and professionally, Snowden used his idle time to learn more about the NSA's surveillance program using internal news feeds known as read boards. He even built a program called Heartbeat to compile new and important reports on the read boards into a single feed. While managing the NSA's digital calendar, Snowden left a copy of the U.S. Constitution on his co-workers' desks on Constitution Day. Rereading the Fourth Amendment, he was struck by how clearly it stated U.S. citizens' right to privacy. Snowden realized that government and intelligence agencies were continuously violating people's freedom, and this led him to the conclusion that the people had the right to know the truth. Snowden then systematically planned to expose the NSA and its surveillance programs. He would gather as much relevant information as he could without endangering other agencies' operations and share the documents with trusted journalists, including Laura Poitras and Glenn Greenwald. Snowden contacted them through encrypted emails from his home computer. The only remaining question was, who could gather and leak classified documents to them without being caught? Snowden became the whistleblower who exposed the government's secrets, becoming both a hero and a traitor in the eyes of the public. In essence, Snowden's life journey from Hawaii to exposing government surveillance programs was a significant turning point not only in his life but also in the global fight for people's right to privacy. Snowden's bold move. Edward Snowden, a former National Security Agency, NSA, contractor, challenged the most secure institution by exposing the NSA's mass surveillance program. But how did he manage to steal top-secret files? Using his self-built program, Heartbeat, was easy, but finding useful information was a tough task. Snowden transferred the files to a group of old computers under the guise of compatibility testing and systematically searched and encrypted them. Carrying SD cards under the Rubik's Cube and hacking into strangers' Wi-Fi hotspots, Snowden finally sent the documents to journalists. Snowden's personal safety was at stake, but he was committed to his decision to expose the truth. During his stay at National Threat Operations Center in Hawaii, Snowden learned more about Xkeyscore, a search engine that allowed NSA workers to access data collected through Stellarwind. Snowden discovered that analysts were using the database to spy on anyone at any time. Snowden's courage, determination, and willingness to risk his safety were imperative in the struggle to protect privacy and individual freedom. Snowden's great escape. After leaking classified NSA documents, Edward Snowden fled the United States, knowing he'd face espionage charges. He sought asylum in multiple countries, but all his requests were denied until WikiLeaks organized for him to leave for Ecuador. During a layover in Moscow, United States authorities caught up to him. Snowden was granted temporary asylum in Russia and continues to live in Moscow, further developing his online privacy activism.
Following Edward Snowden's transformation from a technology enthusiast to an individual disillusioned by the government's infringement, On Civil Liberties, Permanent Record unveils the dramatic story of the man who brought the issue of mass surveillance to the forefront. Snowden's story serves as a reminder of the potential consequences of unchecked government power, the importance of transparency, and the value of upholding our essential freedoms in the digital age. As technology continues to advance, Snowden's journey stands as both a cautionary tale and a call for action to ensure that the rights of ordinary citizens are being protected.